Holocaust Remembrance Day. An Appleton man is sharing his mother and grandmother's survival stories 3 years after they were on the run throughout Poland, escaping the captivity. Samantha Cavalli brings us their story so we can never forget.
As Action 2 News photojournalist Steve Hopper flips through the pages of his family's scrapbooks, he's reminded of the courage and strength his mother and grandmother had to survive the Holocaust. His mother Jean and grandmother Faye were among the millions housed within the largest Jewish ghetto in Warsaw, Poland. His mother's biological father bribing a guard to let them out. The hope was to eventually meet up with Jean's father, but later learned of his capture and murder by the Germans.
And he said, if I'm not there, then I'm dead. Don't wait for me, just assume that I'm not there and I'm dead. And they got to this town with this water fountain, and they waited, and he never showed.
From 1942 to 1945, Hopper's mother and grandmother trekked on foot or by train with just the clothes on their backs to escape being captured. Hopper says growing up, his mother would tell stories of their travels, sometimes going days without food and water, not staying in a place longer than a few days at a time.
I remember being on a train one time, and the Allies opened fire on the train. They thought it was a troop train. And my mom remembers hearing bullets whizzing, and my grandma threw her on the ground and lay on top of her.
In 1947, after spending 2 years living in displaced persons camps, they got the call to immigrate to America. Faye, the youngest of 9 children, would ask a family friend visiting Treblinka concentration camp for help.
And she gave him a list of all the names, cousins, brothers, sisters, grandparents, parents. And there's a roster there, and they looked, and every single name that she gave was on that list. Every single person.
On the 8th anniversary of his mother's death, Hopper hopes sharing their story raises awareness as many reflect on the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz.
The Jews have an expression, never forget. And that's the one thing that they always emphasize is never forget that this happened. And it can happen again. It easily can happen again.
In 2021, Wisconsin passed Act 30, requiring school districts to teach about the Holocaust and other genocides in social studies curriculums in both middle and high schools so that this generation never forgets. In Appleton, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.